Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. We've made it. We've made it through the storm.
Welcome to We Have Some Notes with Tee and Tel. Hey, T.
Hey, Tel.
Long time no see.
How are you?
I was trying to figure out, what's the theme song for allergy season this year, Nuck If You Buck? Because it's the pollen is giving big Nuck If You Buck energy. And I ain't got no type of fight back. I'm telling you, it's like 10-0 over here. It's winning. It's winning.
Yeah, well, they said don't stop in the middle of your assignment. Keep going. That was actually the pastor's note today. So
Okay.
keep going. Don't stop in the middle.
Even when you getting beat up. Okay.
So keep going.
Man
Don't
down.
stop in
Oh,
the
yeah.
middle.
Okay.
You still got this. Yeah.
What's your
So
weekend?
it's
Anything
very
new?
busy, very busy work week. But I did, as an adult, make a new friend this week
Adult
at the
friend.
Sephora.
Okay,
Um,
Sephora.
at the Sephora. She's from Philly.
Oh,
I might have us a Martha Vineyard connect. So,
we
I
were
told
just
her, so I was
talking
like,
about.
this is my glimmer for the week. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we were
how was
just
your
talking about Martha's
Martha?
Vineyard and how
Oh, yeah.
it's like a whole 2-year planning situation and
Mm-hmm.
you
His family
know
there. So, shout out to her.
uh,
How was your week?
I took my mom to Real Lobster for her birthday. And
We love a red lobster.
to know my mom is knowing she would have it no other way. It doesn't matter if other restaurants are fancier. Uh, she wants Real Lobster. She doesn't feel loved, and so I make that
Mm-hmm,
happen for
mm-hmm,
her. But Real Lobster is giving Fogo de Chao prices these days. They are giving RPM seafood. Um, remember,
nice.
your 19.99 or your 24.99, your 26.99, your twenty eight
All
ninety
that's
nine. The
gone.
most expensive thing would have been probably like 36.99, 39.99 if you didn't catch on a special. Their average menu prices for everything is like $42.
A 42 lie. You can't give me the same thing for a higher
Like
price.
even that seafood boil thing that they're trying to get the people to do, because I'm just not going to the restaurant and eating out of a bag. That's just me.
Uh,
But even that was like $40. Like I looked at
those
that
are
lady
usually
and said,
very pricey.
these prices
Those are
are
pricey.
ridiculous. These
They are
prices are
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
But
Like
Red Lobster, they got taken out. They're under new ownership, so that kind of makes sense.
I understand all of that, but it doesn't make sense because
They're
it
giving you the same
doesn't make
thing.
I understand, but it doesn't make we have gone through enough as a country.
Can we just keep some? Can
I
we have
I
some nice
too am under
things?
construction. My account is under construction and new ownership as well. So won't be back for a long time. But we've got an excellent show started for the people. We got so much to listen. We got so much to talk through. I will try my best to get through as much as we can, but nothing starts before we play our little game that
Oh,
we like to call Somebody Said. All right. Are you ready, friend?
I mean,
Let
I got pre-selected names for this week. It's either gonna be one or the two. So
okay. Let's let's see how far that gets you.
let's see.
Just get ready for Somebody Said, y'all. Okay. Let's see. All right. Do I still have to explain this to you guys? This is Somebody Said. a little trivia game where I'm going to give T a quote, and then T is going to guess who that quote is attributed to. The only twist is the source can be, I don't know, a fictional character from a Disney movie, or it can be a line from a song, or it can be something that a conversation I've made up in my head, like, somebody I thought is what it sounded like to me, implied, indirect quote. But we've been friends for a long time, so she should just telepathically connect with the quote. So let's see what we have here. Here is the first quote. I trained my voice for Broadway.
Oh my God. Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo and her delusions. Oh my gosh. That lady.
Correct. You must be Delulu. You must be Delulu in the way. Jennifer Lopez says that she trained her voice from listening to other musicals, Broadway musicals, and that she actually prefers to sing in that way. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Ursula.
Okay, here is the next one. Somebody said, I only know melodies, not mediocrity.
I like the line. Sounds real goofy.
Okay. Do you have an answer?
I'll go with Brandy. I don't know.
This was Mariah.
That was my first thought. Okay. That was my first thought, but I just didn't think you was gonna be that shady to put
it's super shady. Now, mind you, I don't know how credible this source is. First of all, I saw this trending like on Threads and stuff like that. The only article that I can find about it is from Jana News or Janaya News. I don't know how credible this news source is, but apparently reportedly, according to them, during a public appearance, Mariah Carey was asked whether she remembered conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. And then she admitted that she did not. Some critics jumped at her, suggesting that she should leave the U.S. for her ignorance. However, she replied in her trademark manner, "Darling, I remember melodies, not mediocrity." Which, whether she said that or not, a slay. Okay, all right, next one. Somebody said, a flip bit flop wearing Chanel flip flops.
Nicki Minaj.
I see how you did that. You're like one of the. That was not
Cardi B.
Who?
Cardi B.
No. But I see where your head is at. No. Wrong answer. You gotta get it.
Santana.
Yes, but you don't get points for going.
I'm going through the. Okay.
Don't cheat on the game. Santana absolutely, positively went on a rant and told the girls that who was he even arguing with at this point? Let me see if I can pull it up. I think this was to JT, correct? Yes, this was to JT. So let's see if we can pull up what he had to say to JT. There was so much going on with this group of characters this week. Okay. Now why can you? Okay, you can't see it. All right, let's see if I can get it to play.
Can't wear two pieces that always look like a bodysuit, bitch. Fuck is you talking about? A flop bitch flop wear Chanel flip flops.
There was a lot. A lot more said. He said you look funny wearing. He said you look funny wearing a two-piece Funyun shapes. It was just a lot. It was just a lot going on. We're gonna talk a lot more about that later in the episode, but we're gonna go right on back to somebody said, "Are you kind of? I'll give you kind of sort of a cheat, kind of sort of, but we're ready for the next one, okay?"
What's the point?
Somebody said, "I'm once, twice, 3 times a lady."
Nicki Minaj.
The correct answer is Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez, we talked about it last week on our show, if you will recall. Got married to the love of her life, Benny Blanco, but she actually wore 3 different wedding dresses. I believe they were all designed by Ralph Lauren. Let's see.
Nice. I like the first one.
This is the first one. This is the one I like. Let me show you. This one right here. This one, the lace one. The lace.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The lace was gorgeous. She looks so pretty. And I guess this was the third one. Very classic, very timeless. Congrats, Selena, on getting married to your boo. I know that's right. You better wear 3 different dresses. Okay. Are you ready for the next one, friend? Nicki Minaj is not it's not gonna be the answer to all of these.
You can't blame me for trying.
I definitely understand there was so much logic that makes sense in that approach. All right. Somebody said, if there is a shutdown, the president should be blamed.
Everybody said that. Chuck Schumer, Cory Booker.
All right. Everybody. Not an acceptable answer. The correct answer is Darth President. Darth President.
I said everybody.
You did. Once said, I think I have footage because we do not have to misquote him. We can just hear what he had to say. Let's let it roll.
Hell of a time trying to negotiate here in Washington. So tell me, if you were president, what would you do?
Well, very simply, you have to get everybody in a room. You have to be a leader. The president has to lead. I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together.
They're not going to be talking who the head of the House was, the head of the Senate, who's running things in Washington. So I really think the pressure is on the president.
Yeah. Yeah. You may or may not have heard, we are now experiencing a shutdown with y'all's leader, Darth Vader, at the helm. And according to him, he should be blamed for his lack of leadership. Moving on.
Moving right along. All right. Somebody said, are you still waiting? Still waiting for what? For reparations? What are we waiting for?
Correct answer is Ariana Grande. So on that same note, Glenda the Good Witch herself asked MAGA took to her live to ask Mega, are you still waiting to be great again? Let's see exactly what she had to say. It's a little spicy. It was a little spicy. So this says, I want to check in with Trump voters. I have one very genuine question. It's been 250 days. Now that immigrants have been violently torn from their families and communities have been destroyed, now that trans people have been blamed for virtually everything and live in fear, and now that free speech is on the brink of collapse for us all, has your life gotten better? Have your groceries gotten cheaper? Has your health insurance premiums gone down? Has your work-life balance improved? Can you take a vacation yet? Are you happier? Has the widespread suffering of others paid off for you in the way he promised it would? Or are you still waiting?
Well, damn! She ran them down to the ground. Okay.
Yeah,
That's my favorite story so far.
yeah. All right, let's see. I think I have another one. Okay, somebody said. I lied. That was it. You made it. You made it, friend.
Finally out of Chantel's
Oh, you made it. You made it.
I definitely was all the way like.
I mean, Ariana has gone off. People are tired. Let's talk about some good stuff before we go into absolute pits of hell with these stories.
Damn.
Come up with a name with this for this segment. I don't know what we can call it, but we're going to talk about some things that we've got where we're watching, some things that we're interested in.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. What's new on the tube? Okay. The first thing that I think, T, you have to keep me honest, got overlooked because there's a little tizzy going on, but I do believe a little show called Reasonable Doubt is back. Okay.
Yes, Reasonable Doubt. Love this show.
There she is.
Oh, hi again.
Yeah.
All right, T, talk us through the show. What's going on? What are we getting into with Reasonable Doubt season 3?
We are, oh my gosh, she looks stunning in that green dress. So we are looking at Emiati. I butcher her last name, Corinaldi.
Don't get nobody's name right. It's admirable that we keep trying, but that's
what we're gonna be known for, is not getting people's names right.
Oh my goodness.
Corinaldi. But she hits up this show as a defense attorney, like a badass defense attorney, okay, who gets the craziest of cases, and she usually gets herself entangled in the cases. And so now they are back for a third season. So I'm really curious to see where they're going with this, because second season left us on, I don't know if you all watched, but the way we were left second season, I was like, oh, okay. So how are we gonna work this out? Because this getting strange. So I'm really excited to see how the writers write for this. I love this. I love this show. I love everything about this show. It gives me everything I need. It gives me chocolate people on screen. They're so gorgeous. And
outfits, looks, everything.
Fashion for days, home. Oh, yes. And real estate also. LA real estate for days. So I love this show. I'm excited to see. Yes, it is on Hulu, guys. Okay. And so I'm hoping.
So are we telling these people to renew their subscriptions? That they just canceled it.
I know. I can't. Mine is tied into a package that I don't have anything to do with. So
That's the story that we're sticking to. Okay.
That's the story. That's the real story.
Okay.
I can't untangle it. So because I don't pay for it. It's free for me.
So you have an entanglement with
I'm in an entanglement.
Okay.
But yeah, I love this. This is what I watch in the fall. So I'm excited. What
I love about this is I feel like we talk about glimmers a lot. Look at me playing with my hair. I feel like Morris Chestnut is one of my glimmers. I mean, and I get him on not one but two shows. See, I stopped watching Reasonable Doubt season 1. I didn't see any of season 2, and so I didn't understand what y'all meant when you were saying Morris Chestnut's on the show. I'm like, how? He's on Watson, but apparently he's got shows on, and so it's just like because they knew I needed the glimmers in my life, and so I'm appreciative.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative.
Start off on this show too.
What?
Yes.
What episode? What minute? Let's do some research. My account is currently canceled, but I know I can get a free trial. I know I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna be checking out Reasonable Doubt. You know, do what you got to do with your account in order to check Morris Chestnut and the Beautiful Brown People out. Here's another one. Well, this is kind of just like a follow-up. So last week I told you guys that I was really looking forward to seeing one battle after another, and that it was starring Tiana Taylor and Leonardo DiCaprio. I love that I'm putting Tiana Taylor over Leonardo DiCaprio in the billing. Chase Infinity is in there. Sean Penn is in it. Regina Hall is in it. I can happily report that this movie was everything. Did you go see it? I know you were talking about you may see it, but your schedule, no. It was, friend, it was everything. It's giving you action, but it's also giving you revolution, okay? Revolt. It's giving you parenthood. It's giving you sacrifices that you make for your kids. It's giving you like the nuances of racism and how that really kind of plays with our government and our interactions with, you know, how we navigate different spaces. It's such a good, it was just such a, I had no idea where this film was going because, you know, I didn't like spoilers. I could have never imagined that it would have, the events would have unfolded the way they unfolded. And I'm very curious because they say that this is an epic. So does that mean they're going to be bringing out additional parts to this movie? Because the way it's written, I can see it kind of picking up the story later on. But it was a phenomenal, phenomenal film. And let me tell you something. Leonardo DiCaprio has this moment in Wolf of Wall Street where he gets on the ground and he crawls to the car, and he does something similar in this movie, and I was dying laughing. That is like my favorite thing, is when he does like these little comedic bits. He does that a lot throughout this film. It was fantastic. So you guys can still go see one battle after another in theaters. I do think it's a movie actually worth going to the theaters to see. And also, just as a follow-up note, listen, Love is Blind. I finished it. I watched all the episodes for you guys. I'm all cut up. I know who gets married. T has a flight, so I'm not going to ruin it for her. I'm not going to tell her what couples stay together, what couples did not stay together. But let me tell you, last week I forgot to tell you one of the other trifling storylines. So there's this girl, Cynthia. Okay, she hooks up with her guy. They meet. Lo and behold, Cynthia is 6 feet tall. Her guy is not 6 feet tall. Okay, so they talk, and he's like, "I love you no matter how you look, and it doesn't bother me, and I'm okay with your height." And da 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 da. They get to their location where, the couples go to a vacation spot, and they're all going to meet. All the couples are going to get dressed. They put on their cute outfits because they're going to meet all the other couples for the first time. And baby Cynthia picks out like this little 4-inch kitten heel. It wasn't going to do much for her because she is 6 feet tall. When I tell you this man had a conniption, when I tell you he had a conniption and told her, you're not considering my feelings. It was just a test. I just thought you would pick the flip-flops. The men on this season, with the exception of maybe 1.5, were a hot mess on this season of Love is Blind. Please watch this on your flight, friend, because you're not too behind. The reunion does not come out until October 12th. So we get to see one last meeting. We get to see how they resolve things.
Okay, I'll look into catching up. I'll see if I can catch up on the flight.
It was better. I'm telling you, it was a lot better than all the other Love is Blind seasons. I think it gave a little bit of je ne sais quoi, I guess, because they were in France. I don't know. And it's very diverse. It was more diverse than any of the US seasons that we've ever had. Super diverse cast.
France is pretty diverse.
So that's what we've been watching. Those are our guilty pleasures. Let's get into our next topic, guys.
This when we go to hell.
We're gonna start like we go slowly descend. We go slowly descend.
Okay, so I could be
there's no need to go straight there. Make some pit stops along
grab
the way.
some ice water along the way. Okay.
All right, listen. Kim Kardashian and her mom have sent a lawsuit over to Ray J. I know. All right, let's see. This is from AP News. It says Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner are suing Ray J for defamation over his racketeering claims. Kim Kardashian and her mother are suing ex-boyfriend Ray J for saying that they are under federal investigation and on the verge of being indicted. The defamation lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court on Wednesday by the reality stars and business people in a fast and aggressive pushback against the allegations they say are entirely baseless. The article goes on to say that Ray J, whose legal name is Ray Norwood Jr., falsely claimed that he was working with federal investigators on a racketeering case against them that will soon lead to their indictment. Okay, the lawsuit alleges that Ray J's comments are part of a sustained campaign of harassment and defamation that has gone on for years. They say that he is, quote, unable to accept the end of his fleeting relationship with Miss Kardashian over 20 years ago. Ray J has repeatedly sought to attach himself to plaintiffs' names and exploit their prominence for personal gain. Okay. This is really all stemming from a TMZ special that aired in May. Ray J was talking about Diddy. This was like a TMZ special on Diddy in his case. And he started talking about, now I'm not reading the article now. Now I'm remembering, this is my memory. I was always with Diddy. I was at all these parties. He's gone on to say stuff like that. So I don't believe it. Like, how is all this happening? I didn't see it. Now, if you would have said that this was happening by Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians, then I would believe it. Like, that's around about what he had to say, right? So they're like, excuse the F out of me. They assert that no such federal investigation exists. No law enforcement agency has initiated any criminal proceedings or investigations related to racketeering charges against Ms. Kardashian or Miss Jenner, and no credible evidence whatsoever supports these inflammatory claims. He also said in another live stream, I forgot to mention this, that the federal RICO that I'm about to drop on Chris and Kim is about to be crazy. The feds is coming. He added that the racketeering case would be worse than Diddy. Y'all. I think I have some actual footage of him going off the handle. Let me look for it. But in the meantime, do you have any notes? Do you have any notes at all regarding this case?
I just don't know why, how. We keep getting pulled into a group chat from 20 years ago. I just would like to know, this woman done been married about 11 times, then had all these kids. He done been married. Okay, like, why divorce? Why are we still here? That's all I want to know.
I think that's their point. It's like you've been obsessed. It's been 20 years. Like, it's been 20 years.
And also, I need Kim to stay away from the men folk. Just, I don't know.
Yeah. If this would have been my roster, I would be like,
all her exes be coming out talking crazy smack.
Reckless.
And I'm just like, dang. Like, she gonna have to sue Kanye too, because he be out here saying some real reckless stuff too.
A gag order has needed to be gagged for a while.
But I think he needs to start having them do the NDA thing when they start dating her. Because this is crazy.
Take a note. That was a good note, friend. Say it again. Say it and write it down.
You send it to her.
It needs to be like the prenup.
Yeah.
In order for our marriage, as a condition of our marriage, even as a condition of us dating, you are never to say my name in public, my name, my mama's name, or my kid's name in public about nothing, ever. You break this contract, I'm suing you for all the money I know you ain't got. You need that, Kim. You need that. What Beyonce say? You want to party with the queen? You're going to have to sign an NDA.
I just need for her to stay away from men. I think she's at a point in her life.
She's not even around him no more. He's from 20 years. Can you imagine?
In general, like all of them, just stay away. They just not for her. Just accept, like, some things are for people, and the men folk is just not for you. Like, they not. Every last one of them then said something horrific.
And what's gonna be? He's not gonna win this, right? I can, in my loose memory of not really even keeping up with too much of them, I can think of multiple occasions of Ray J going on lives. Like, one time he said he was going on live to expose the truth about what happened with, the sex tape and stuff. And he put the messages up. Yeah. And, I'm nosy. So I remember pausing the frame. And in it, he was even harassing her in the messages, like, hey, yo, answer my messages right now. Or he was like giving her threats, like, you need to come to room 3 or give me code 3222 or something. And like, he was like, he does all this extra stuff to kind of force her to be in communication with him. And you and I have had, as women, like, we experience this. We know when men just are always reaching out from the woodwork, won't let stuff go. But this is just like on another level, because he uses her name constantly as a heartbeat to stay relevant at this point, for clickbait, for impressions. Like, I've watched his interviews and he has admitted that he, like, the marketing side of how his brain works is he knows when he goes on these rants and he does these crash out, that it makes his, it makes his SEO pop, basically. And so between like a Nick and Alandria right now, a Kim Kardashian, like a Taylor Swift, like it's just certain people whose names that you can just constantly use in combination with, and you're going to be searchable. Like you're going to raise your own status in the search engine. And so he's very calculated about what he's doing. Like make no mistake, like he knows what he's doing.
That happened. They were done in like in the 2006, 2007,
2005, if it's been 20 years, right?
So she still kept picking the same man. She still kept picking the same man. Controlling, trying to tell her what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Like, because she had that problem with Chris Humphries. Then she had that problem with Kanye. Okay? Like, she just kept picking the same person moving forward is all I'm saying. And it's been a while. Child, I don't even know. Why was there no cease and desist?
Ray J has, there ain't gonna be no cease and desist. I'm about to sue you because you've gone too far.
I'm saying, like, in the first place.
We don't know. They haven't told us that. Okay. But Ray J has responded and says, this is Hollywood Unlocked. They're saying that things between Ray J and Kim Kardashian continue to take more twists and turns. Okay. For years, all parties have been embroiled in a back and forth over who leaked the infamous sex tape of Ray and Kim. We honestly do not care. As Ray points the finger at Chris and Kim, they say it was him who sat with execs and inked the deal to make the money on the release. And then in 2021, Kim reignited the drama over the tape on her episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Then claims began circulating about an alleged second tape, which her lawyers denied ever exists, but then later took action to prevent from surfacing. And then in 2022, Chris took a lie detector to clear her name, which it appeared to have done. But Ray wasn't buying it and aired everyone out with a full-on PowerPoint. This is what I'm talking about. I saw PowerPoint presentation on Instagram Live. Okay. So now we're fast forwarding to this incident on September 26th when he was sitting down next to Krishan Rock and told her that he was bringing forward a federal RICO case that was going to be bigger than Diddy's. All right. He now says that he is insisting that he will not be silenced by the mother-daughter duo. See him.
I cannot be silenced from in no which way and form, dog. These motherfuckers think they can silence us.
Who trying to stop you? Can't
they got a whole fucking world. These sleazy criminals. Hey, I'm not all right because like all I've been trying to do is be a good person, bro. And we just did some shit with Kai. It was so dope. And then
I wanted to point out that this is Lamel, and it looks like the Zeus Network people. This is also Tia Kemp. This is everything he does is so calculated. So he and Tia and Lamel, they're all working on together on a new show for Zeus. And so isn't it like funny? Haha, we need promotion. We need to get our new show, trending. Let's talk about Kim Kardashian. Like it's so so here we go again with another video.
How I defame you. You just paid me all this money. You didn't mention that, huh? Go back up. You didn't mention that. But you also didn't mention that you were supposed to tell Hulu to take that shit down, bro. These bitches already paid me $5 million, bro. And they trying to like make me a slave, bro. I can show you all the dirty shit they telling me. This ain't even no money. Bro.
So he presents, I guess, on his show or on his stream, the actual lawsuit, and then he adds in for color that they previously paid him $5 million to shut the hell up, which I guess you still have not done.
America deserves to know. Y'all trying to kill the black community. Y'all trying to kill niggas off. I swear to God, I can go deeper than this. But I'm not today. I'm not.
What really bugs me at this point is this whole storyline of they're trying to take down black men, the black community. If we must put onus anywhere, we're going to put it on you, Ray J. You kicked this off. You kicked this off. Okay? So, should we be getting reparations from you? Like, who do we send our class action lawsuits to at this point? Yeah, it's a mess. Poor Kim. She has the worst exes to ever have X in a world of exes, to have ever been X'd before. I mean, what a horrible roster. Throw the whole roster away. What a horrible roster. Please stay single for a while, Kim. You don't need, or be a lesbian, but don't come out with no more men for a long. You need another 40. What's Diddy's bid? You need about 4.5 years before you come out.
I ain't got nothing for him, and I ain't got nothing for Kim either.
Well, that was Kim and Ray J. On another note, we're just gonna keep, hey. Send it slowly into the different levels.
The fact that we can go lower than that is insane.
Oh my goodness.
Just
bring your ice cubes.
Just start the descent. Okay.
Your ice cubes. Okay.
Descent.
Earlier this week, Cassie provided a letter to the judge during the sentencing of Diddy. In it, she wrote a very powerful 3-page statement. This is, I'm reading from the Jasmine brand. In her letter, she revealed that she still lives in fear. She says, I'm, quote, so scared that if he walks free, his first actions will be swift retribution towards me and others who spoke up about his abusive trial. Speaking about their over decade-long relationship, he says that he groomed me into performing repeated sex acts with hired male sex workers during multi-day freak-offs, which occurred nearly weekly. These events were degrading and disgusting, leaving me with infections, illnesses, and days of physical and emotional exhaustion before he demanded it all again. She then goes on to detail the leaked footage of Diddy that we all saw of him viciously attacking her in that hotel hallway. She says, people watched this footage dozens of times, seeing my body thrown to the ground, my hands over my head, curl into a fetal position to shield me from the worst blows. She ends by saying, he will always be the same cruel, power-hungry, manipulative man that he is. Well, we now know that Diddy was sentenced earlier this week. So I do believe he received 4 years, maybe 4 years and 2 months. This is from CNN. Sean Diddy Combs sentenced to more than 4 years in prison for prostitution-related conviction. Let's see. Yes, he was. Oh, I lost my signal. Here we go. Okay. It says that he was sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison for his conviction on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. And he must also pay a $500,000 fine. He addressed the court. Hey, Bailey. He addressed the court earlier and begged the judge for mercy, calling his actions disgusting, shameful, and sick. Sean Combs apologized to the victims and all the victims of domestic violence. Of course, his defense attorney is not happy. Okay. He is arguing that the sentence was un-American and says that they will appeal. In a quote, Brian Steele told CNN that he believes that his client's sentence sends the wrong message. People get, God forbid, falsely accused of a crime. They go to trial. They have all the witnesses testify. Credibility is determined. The jury reaches a verdict and finds in their favor, and then they just get sentenced for the same exact conduct that the jury found and did not commit. It seems un-American. Okay. He goes on to say, or this is Mark Agnifilio, says the jury reached a verdict on coercion and found there was not coercion. And I think the judge said coercion today as a basis for his sentence at least a dozen times, adding that he thinks it is unconstitutional. Okay. However, Judge Submarinian, y'all know I'm trying, delivered powerful remarks before his sentencing Sean Diddy Combs to 4 years in prison. Here's the key things that he addressed directly. Says he considered all of Combs' history. Judge Submarinian clarified that the sentence was for offenses of conviction, the Mann Act charges, and not the sex trafficking and racketeering charges that he was acquitted of. He also said that while the drugs may be behind the Combs' violent behavior, the court has to consider all of your history here. He also considered Combs' success and his devotion to his family, that he was a self-made artist and businessman. And then he rejected the defense's attempt to characterize the freak-offs and hotel nights as intimate, consensual experiences or just sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He also wants to give a substantial sentence to send a message that abuse of women is met with accountability, adding that the court is not assured that Combs would not commit these acts again, adding that he believes that Combs had irreparably harmed those two women. He thanked the witnesses and the victims for coming forward to tell the world what happened. So it took us all summer, right? But here we are. We've got a conviction, 4 years in prison. He's already been in there for about a year. Listen, I don't know nothing about, that's not my life, child. I don't know nothing about that over there, but I hear from the people who do know about prison life that he may get enrolled into some programs, rehab programs, that they may also consider his time served. He might even be home before Christmas or by Christmas. He won't be serving the full 4 years.
But he already gets time served, doesn't he?
That's what I just said. They may consider his time served on top
he won't be serving the full. He's already been in there for what, nearly 2 years? He's been in there over a year, no?
I know at least a year.
So he won't be serving the full. I find it, he ain't learned shit. He said, I ain't learned nothing. First of all, sir, you may recall that they were coming at you with something like 30 years with all those other charges that they ended up dropping. So first of all, he didn't stop and wasn't thankful for that. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then originally they were talking in the double digits for these charges. So the mere fact that you are under 5 years, why are we not grateful for that? Because as far as I'm concerned, with everything that they had on him, they just didn't put that case together right.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't make it stick. But for all of the evidence and unsavory things that they brought out, he should be, I'd be in, imagine, and maybe the career criminals could, tell us a little something. If you were facing something like 20 plus years in prison and they dropped it down to 4, how is that not a win? Maybe I be doing my math. Like, you went to the store and they were like, this costs $700, but with all of the discounts in the promo, it's $200. How is that not a win? How's that not a win?
That man will be out with this administration. That man will be out in a blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye.
So annoying. Oh my God. So unserious.
I really am. Back to Cassie's original statement, I do fear for the safety of, the retaliation of anybody that spoke out against him. I do think that's a lot of why we're hearing Ray J talk so much.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be very interesting how the general public receives him. Will he be canceled? Will we be paying him dust? Will he not be allowed to thrive anymore? Will he not be able to pushing culture forward on our behalf in his name? Or will he just come back and it'll be business as usual, and he'll be celebrated and accepted, and he'll just still be pushing out new alcohol drinks, new clothing brands, new music, new media channels, and
he's gonna rebrand. He's gonna come out, he's gonna rebrand. He's gonna be and found Allah or Jesus. Okay. I'm just telling you what I know. That's what's gonna happen. And then he's gonna come out, he's gonna package it somehow, and he's gonna sell it to the people. Okay. And the people gonna be like, I knew I had your back, and I knew like you was a good person. That's what's gonna happen. So he's gonna have like his little cultish. I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you so you can be prepared. It won't be
not surprised when it happens.
Yeah, okay. And then Cassie, the notes I have for Cassie is take your family, pick another location to live, another country. Okay. You can keep your name, but also keep an alias. So whatever you're getting your new house, apartments, put it in someone else's name, put it under other things with your money, higher security,
family.
Okay, the cameras in the houses on the they gotta be top notch. You get what I'm saying? Like there's still ways to live a full life. And look, most of us trying to lead a country anyway. Lead a country right now. Lead a country.
He has so much power and influence. He just definitely strikes me as one of those stage 22 clingers that will follow her.
This is why she has to be smart about it, and she has to contact those who are former, not of this administration, child, those who are former lifetime like FBI and this is what they do. They consult on these sorts of things on how to kind of like hide in plain sight. Like you're still living your life, you're still you, but it's so hard to find you. They just got to figure out a new way to sort of live, if that makes sense.
Prayers up for Cassie and her family. They definitely, good news is, and this is why civil cases are important. Say what you want, say anything about like the gold digging, whatever. But now she has a little bit of means to, and a little bit of time, not a lot of time. She has a little bit of time to use that money, hire a team, security, protection, all the things that T just mentioned, and come up with a plan to make her and her family feel safe, no matter what that is. Because without that compensation, she would have no chance. And prayers for everyone who also may feel that they will get retaliated against.
Yeah.
With him coming out. All right. Let's move on. You know what? This one isn't too bad. I mean, whenever racist Karens get the crying, it's like an angel gets some tears. An angel gets the wings. Collect your tears. We don't care. Bad Bunny was announced as this year's NFL halftime performer. Hey, I don't see the problem, but Karen does. So it was announced that he will headline the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. He will bring his Aladdin trap and reggaeton swagger to the NFL's biggest stage next year as the star of 2026 Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show. He celebrated the milestone by saying, "This is for my people, my culture, and our history." Okay. The Puerto Rican superstar's selection comes amid another career-defining run. He's fresh off a historic Puerto Rico residency. Puerto Rico, by the way, you guys, is part of the United States. This month that drew more than 500,000 fans and is leading all the nominees at the Latin Grammys in November. He's become one of the world's most streamed artists with albums such as, hold on now, Un Verano Sin Ti, an all Spanish language LP. Listen, I have taken Spanish classes since 3rd grade through college. I am ashamed. I am embarrassed. I am ashamed. I am embarrassed. Okay. What I'm feeling goes beyond myself, Bad Bunny said, is for those who came before me and ran countless yards so I can come in and score a touchdown. This is for my people, my culture, and our history. Vaidela tu abuela, that's for his grandma. Que Ramos, El Halftime Show, the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna be there. In a short video posted by the NFL, the 31-year-old artist is sporting a pava, a Puerto Rican straw hat, which is a nod to his Puerto Rican mid-century farmers. Puerto Rico, you guys, by the way, is a part of the U.S. I'm going to be purposely redundant because it has dawned upon me that some people do not know that. It comes at the heel of his, are they just rewriting the same sentence over again? Okay, this is what it is. Roc Nation founder Jay-Z said in a statement that what Bad Bunny has done and continues to do for Puerto Rico is truly inspiring. We are honored to have him on the world's biggest stage. Okay. Roc Nation and Emmy-winning producer Jesse Collins will serve as co-executive producers of the halftime show, and Hamish Hamilton will serve as director. This is going to be, I don't know this man music. Okay. I don't know it, but I know this is going to be fun. This is about to be fun. Here's some responses that I found online.
Money, and why is he going to perform in Spanish, baby? Who is we? Who is? Debi tira más fotos de cuando te tuve, debi te maté, soy abrazo las veces que pude. Ojalá que lo mío nunca se muden. Y si me embaracho, pues que me ayuden. Who is we?
Exactly. So I'm gonna get my playlist together. Okay. I don't know none of this man's songs. Y'all tell me in the comments which songs you think he's gonna perform at the halftime so that I have proper time to spend with my old high school and college Espanol. Okay, I should know all of it by now. I've taken it since 3rd grade. Here's another video of someone who translated one of his songs for me. Okay, so she says that he says, my day was going beautifully, but it was ruined by a mass shooting at the hands of a white man and an asshole president who doesn't do shit. Black Lives Matter, RP Kobe. 2020 and racism is worse than COVID. Yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it. I'm so excited. And the Karen's being mad just makes this even more. I can't wait till February. I can't wait. You mean to tell me during Black History Month, we get to hear this Puerto Rican man go all the way off and he's not going to sing a lick of English? I enjoy it.
Yes.
What do you think about the announcement of Bad Bunny being the halftime performer and the people being very upset?
This country is so interesting. Because he's already quite political in his music as it is. Okay, because I hope he also gets at seeing some of the songs where he gets at the exploitation of Puerto Rico, to your earlier point of having to remind people that Puerto Rico is very much so a part of the U.S. And so I hope that makes that stage, okay? Because I haven't visited Puerto Rico, and I can say, yes, it is very true, okay? The exploitation of PR is very real. I can go in on that all day, but I'm really happy for this. This is what we need in this moment. And so I hope he keeps that same I don't give an F energy as Kendrick did last year. I hope that just continues. Like, I hope it's like, who gonna check me? Who gonna check me, boo? I want it to be that sort of energy all the way through the performance. And I know he was on Saturday Night Live recently, and he didn't care there either. So it's about, and this is a thing. I don't know, where do their children go? Because everybody's at a Bad Bunny concert. So
okay, so some of the comments are saying, some of the pushback from these people, they are saying things like, can I make this any bigger for you guys? There we go. Super Bowl canceled. A sport with fans being majority English speakers. Nice one, NFL. So we're gonna have to have a translator out the whole time. It's not okay for kids to watch. I will not be watching a Super Bowl this year. You know, they're just crashing out.
They've been crashing out, child.
Listen, who was it? Was it Tommy Lauren? She had a guest who had to remind her that Puerto Rico was also in the US because she tried to do that whole rhetoric about it not being for American. And guess what? We've had plenty of non-American performers perform at the NFL halftime show, and nobody had boo-hoo to say. The problem is y'all are racist, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that by the end of the show. The problem is y'all are racist. That's it. That's all. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Turning Point USA also announced that they're going to do their own version of USA performers that are Christian valued, and someone had to remind them that, again, Bad Bunny, who is Catholic, which is a Christian branch of religion, and is also United States citizen. Like, where do we go wrong? Where did we go wrong?
Funny how they always forget that PR is the US, but y'all are always down there in Condado working my nerves. Like, I can never even be in Condado. I'm like, you know what? I didn't come down here for this. I came to get away. Let me go back over to Old San Juan. Because y'all, for some reason, you remember then, but you don't remember now. Okay, I got you. I see you.
Embarrassing. I see
you.
All right. Next up. Because I guess they said F the people. Okay. F the real people. What do we need real people for? You and I discussed this last week. There was an AI singer who had got a $3 million record deal. Okay, so this week it was announced on the Wrap, or throughout the trades, that there is a computer-generated actress named Tilly Norwood who will soon sign with a Hollywood agency. Okay, Tilly Norwood's creator Ilan van der Velden revealed at the Zurich Summit that agencies that previously dismissed the idea of working with this AI project are now eager to represent Tilly as an actress. You know what, with some of the people that we got, I guess I understand, child. Here's another picture of Tilly. Y'all said it ain't gonna be no more humans. That's what it is. I guess it is not gonna be any more humans. Of course, this is getting a lot of Hollywood backlash. Lucas Gage, Melissa Barea, Simu Liu, they all claim that this is not okay, that this is actually a hindrance to what it means to be an artist, an actor. Whoopi Goldberg also spoke up and said, let me show her this one. The problem is with this, in my humble opinion, is that you're suddenly up against something that's been generated with 5,000 other actors. So it's got a little bit of Betty Davis's attitude. It's got Humphrey Bogart's lips. And so it's a little bit of an unfair advantage. But you know what? Bring it on, because we can always tell them from us. We move differently. Our faces move differently. Our bodies move differently. So hopefully we'll be able to hold on. Because what this means in AI in the workplace, not just in my workplace, but in every industry, is that some industries are using AI now thinking they're going to replace people. She goes on to say, people talk about people are so lonely. They don't have a connection. If you stick with AI, you won't have any connection to anything but your phone. It's so far past that, Ms. Goldberg. Like it's so far past that. What does this mean? Are they trying to tell us something? Are they just like, we are prepared for the humans to not be here anymore? We are preparing for the humans.
No, they're just trying. Their pockets are lined. Every time they have to give up something for the humans, like, giving out health care to actors. Oh my. Break times and whatnot. So, the schedule runs longer. Oh no. Every time they have to deal with humanity and leaning into it, that's when this comes in. I think ultimately, and this is not going to be on millennials and older. This is not going to, it's not going to be determined by us. It's going to be determined by Gen Z and probably younger Gen Z and going further and further down, but maybe even older. They're going to have to make that decision if that's the direction that they want to see life go in. Because what I really anticipate seeing happen is people really, really making an effort to return to the arts. So then you're going to have more like theater. It's going to be more theater. People are going to get into it more. People will go to their local theater more, like they're, because it's not just the big theater. You don't have to just go to Broadway to see a really amazing play. I think that's going to be true for music.
Yeah.
Because for example, me after COVID, I've been to so many live shows post-COVID. Like it's like one of my favorite things to do. And I think that will be true in this regard, because you got to remember. And then this is where actors, it's time for their teams to pivot. Not pivot into AI. They need to pivot into engagement with humans. The way that fans, for example, feel about, say, a Zendaya. They see Zendaya, they are just like, oh my gosh. They see Tom Holland, it's like, oh my goodness. They just can't get enough. They need to figure out how to have, and we used to have it. We used to have that thing, how to really engage with your audience in a real way where AI could never become a thing.
Make yourself so so a lot of you don't know. Did I tell them to you? So I am a filmmaker and I am an actress. I'm on my 112th audition with Dick Wolf, period. I don't know what y'all want from me on Chicago Med Fire PD. But it's just so disheartening from that space to see something like even that. Is the competition is already so vast that you taking in now this artificial element, and you're just really, to T's point, you really do, but it just takes so much out of you. You're already making so many other sacrifices as an artist. You already live, if you live in the US, you already are on paycheck to paycheck or paycheck to every other paycheck. You are drained, right? So it takes something from you creatively. But I believe you have a very great note there in that just make yourself irreplaceable. I also think, just from a legal standpoint, I think that maybe we should be talking to our lawyers and seeing if there's a way So if you have like a podcast, like I have this podcast, or, you know, I create short movies or short films, or I write scripts, like just see if there's a way that you can protect your likeness, no matter if you're a big Zendaya star or you're just still auditioning the way I am, in a way that if they ever run you through that AI program, at least you can say, hey, you have infringed upon my likeness and my IP, and you can't do that. Because I do think the way this is going is that they're going to just try to, and they tried to do this is why they kind of striked previously. Actors were striking is because they want to use your likeness a lot of times now for stuff in perpetuity. And they want to put you through the AI simulation so that they can use you in the background instead of hiring background actors and dubbing you and all this other stuff. So just kind of, they have to probably make a more expansive trademark law and copyright law. And then I think artists need to be more business savvy when it comes to whatever your lawyer says, do step 1 through 4, and that can secure you protecting your likeness and your IP, protecting your image. Yeah. That's what we need to be kind of being on the brink of. SAG did put out a statement. Let me see if I can share it. So SAG put out a statement and says that SAG-AFTRA believes creativity is and should remain human-centered. The union is opposed to replacement of human performance by synthetics. To be clear, Tilly Norwood is not an actor. It is a character generated by a computer program that was trained on the work of countless professional performers without permission or compensation. It has no life experience to draw from, no emotion, and from what we've seen, audiences aren't interested in watching these computer-generated content untethered from the human experience. It doesn't solve any problem. It creates the problem of using stolen performances to put actors out of work, jeopardizing performer livelihoods and devaluing human artistry. Additionally, signatory producers should be aware that they may not use synthetic performers without complying with our contractual obligations, which require notice and bargaining whenever a synthetic performer is going to be used. So we have a little bit of consequence, you know what I mean? There's something there with having the union there. I think that when we get a different administration in, provided that we ever get another type of administration in, this is something that can be strengthened. Like that legal protection against AI with another administration is something that people can bring forth as a serious issue that needs more policy and protection around. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys, I'm about to get into,
oh Lordy.
I'm gonna start us off easy, whatever that means. Okay. But World War III has begun and it's on every end. All right. So we're gonna start with Cardi B versus Ice Spice. Now, while you were sleeping and minding your own business, a resurfaced audio clip came in the depths of the night, child, like a thief in the night. It was giving rapture, okay? Of Cardi going full off the handle, cursing out James. James is a part of Lotto's team. This was reported on The Breakfast Club, and mind you, because I do hear that there's just a lot, this whole situation that we're about to go over, there's just a lot of, we are commenting on this and exercising our fair use to do so, okay? So we're going to play you a little bit of this clip taken from The Breakfast Club. This is leaked audio of Cardi B going off on Ice Spice's, shouts, everybody. Going off on Ice Spice's team.
I'm going to show ya. I'm not Lotto. I'm going to beat her the up. I'm going to knock her the out. Oh, yeah. I'm going to beat her ass. I'm going to get riot beat up by my y'all going to see what the is up. You think I'm yes, Lotto? Tell me, what's that? Yeah, I don't know. I'm on vacation. Bro, I don't got a
Okay, so she yelling at the top of her lungs. My first thought was, Cardi, why are you getting so upset? You know, you're pregnant. I then found out throughout the Breakfast Club that this was actually something they leaked from last year. This wasn't even recent. So this phone conversation was recorded and released this year. And I guess what we're learning is that there is some fallout between Cardi B's team, Ice Spice talking spicy behind Cardi B's back, Cardi B hearing about it, Cardi B saying that she was about to run up and put the pause on Ice Spice, get her men to jump her team, and whatever else. The rant was very long. The rant had a lot of N-words. There was a lot of N-words being thrown by Cardi. I kept leaning in, like, you know, when did Cardi? She don't even really say the N-word in her music, correct?
No, she does.
Oh, I missed it. It was just so many of it back to back that I was like, this is a lot of ninjas. There's a lot of ninjas being called out. Okay. We didn't have too much long after this to process like what was going on, because shortly thereafter, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj started up again with their back and forth. Did we think we left this child 10 years ago? We did, but apparently we were wrong for thinking that. Thank you so much to Hollywood Unlocked for keeping such concise records, because a lot of their back and forth, they went and deleted it. It's really confusing to kind of keep everything in line. So I'm gonna do as best as I can, and it's a lot. Now, friend, I don't know. Should I read this like speed read it, or should I give it flavor? Like speed read it? Okay. Read it. All right, hold on. Let me see. All right. To give it just a little bit of context, mind you, a little bit of background. In addition to this continue on their years-long beef, this new situation comes because Cardi got on one of those what do you call those spaces, Twitter spaces, and just was telling the people on the spaces, you know, why do you guys keep talking about my album is gonna flop? Like, you think I'm not gonna move numbers when I drop my album? I'm gonna outsell. Like, I'm gonna outsell. She didn't say who she was gonna outsell. It can be inferred, it can be applied, but she got beef with a lot of girls, so you could be wrong, right? So in the thick of the night, numbers came in and Nicki Minaj started posting all of these memes. This first one says, despite false reports, Nicki Minaj is the only female rapper to have an album cross 200,000 units first week this decade. She starts posting herself being the queen. She writes on her stories, "Damn Billboard, I mean, I'm still winning, but I'm bored." Then she starts mocking this song from Cardi B's album. So she starts off a lot of tweets with ABCDEFG, pregnant, play with his boosie, ABCDEFG, surgery to look like me, tell the rat to tell Jay-Z, Rico fraud and perjury. Faith at $4.99. So she's teasing Cardi for having something on sale for $4.99. ABCDEFG, rap like Barney, still ugly, calls her Barney B. ABCDEFG, heavy tonguey. I don't know. You gotta make it rhyme. She starts posting about eagles versus crows, how eagles, she gives us like Wikipedia facts about how eagles fly higher than crows, and that makes the crows mad, and the crows got to try to be a little bit more coordinated to attack the eagle. And so she's implying that she's the eagle. Like, it was a lot of predator versus scavenger intelligence, behavioral comparisons to her being eagle versus a crow. Okay, she goes on with that for a while, child. Then she says, to every enabler, never provoke a writer while they're writing. You join the game as a willing participant. Don't try to back out now. She announces that her album is coming out March 27th, 2026. She hashtags Rock Bottom Nation, Rock Inflation, Rico Nation. You failed. Let the reindeer games begin. We hashtag win again. She posts a flurry of Cardi B posed as or in image as of Barney. We also have random pictures of Jay-Z in a pink wig. She writes here, raw dogging pregnant with the fourth baby, Barney B, BV, HPV, allegedly. Okay, so now Cardi is starting to respond. She starts reposting facts about her album. Cardi B is now the only female rapper in history to debut her first 2 albums at the #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. The drama just doubled. Am I the Drama is now officially a 2 times platinum certified album. Cardi writes, damn, she was streaming Magnet hard as hell, huh? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, your man has to snatch the PC. Pussy tastes like honeycomb. Yo, bro, be touching 12-year-olds. Cocaine Barbie, by the way, was trending all night. Cocaine Barbie, the power I have, make these bitches come out of rehab every time. Go to your fucking room. Nothing more annoying than a bored bitch. You must have missed me, huh? Crazy, now kiss my feet. She posts a picture of Nicki Minaj's brother in a pink wig. If you recall, her brother was sentenced to jail for a long time for pedophilia activity and sexually assaulting his stepdaughter, I believe. She says, nah, because I was really baking ribs and making blondie brownies, and here come this bitch bothering me on a damn Monday with some picture of some ribs. Okay. All right, now this is the 3rd tweet talking about my pregnancy. Like you wasn't going to different fertility doctors because you couldn't reproduce from all them perks scrambling your eggs. This is not allegedly. Lord, protect my babies. Why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is. You've been in the game for like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you need to be competing with, and you can't because you're doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What the F is you comparing yourself to me for? Nah, because okay, so then she repeats. Okay, so I'm a pause.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm a pause there. That was a lot. So we got a lot more of these to go through, by the way. So many more. So many more.
How many more?
We ain't even got to the. Should I just continue, or you? I just want to make sure you have. I want to, break respectfully for notes. If you have any questions,
I feel as though, when the teenagers come to you with their high school drama and you trying to put it all together.
Yeah.
And you going, and you be wanting to be like, girl, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay.
All
right. So Cardi B's sister gets activated. Cardi B's sister, Hennessy Carolina, is now on the sidelines arguing with JT. JT, mind you, is inserting herself to fight on behalf of Nicki, and Hennessy, of course, is fighting on behalf of Cardi B. So Hennessy says, gremlin looking B dying for attention. That's why I curved your boyfriend 7 to 8 times. You know it. LMFAO. How would I know that? JT responds, I don't know. Y'all ran through assholes from nowhere, but getting y'all ass whooped. Your sister literally got dogged out for years in front of millions. Low self-esteem, half an ass hoe. And if it looked like a gremlin, the fuck you think of the face sister brought? You think of the face. You think of your sister face, basically. Ho, go sit down and go get your sister ready for Friday, pussy. Your sister been starting since Kim Barbie was breaking down those weak ass bars to Player's Prayer. Ho, nobody jealous but your sister, who promoted Rick in several songs because I put it on my ass, delusional ass bitch. Hennessy says, you're a hating, jealous ass bitch. JT says, just like a Spanish girl to think a black girl is jealous. Bitch, your sister gives baby fat jacket in the summertime to hide a pregnancy and Team Jordan is jealous. All right, we're going to pick back up.
Nobody's kid had to be dropped off to soccer, swim class. Nobody had to be picked up. Nobody had to be fed. And everybody in here like somebody's mom, with the exception of
coincidentally, and we'll get to that. I do believe that while this was happening, it was one of their child's birthdays. Yeah. Now I don't know. I believe it was maybe Nicki's child's birthday.
No.
I'm not playing. I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up, friend.
No.
I'm not making it up.
My answer is no.
Yeah. All right. And speaking of kids, I think during some point in this altercation, the kids get brought in. And you start forgetting that, like you said, that we're talking about grown women. Cardi B is about 32, 33 years old. Nicki is 42. I don't know how old JT and Hennessy are, but
JT is in her 30s.
Oh, I think okay.
Hennessy is younger than Cardi B, so she's likely somewhere between 25 and 30 something. This is insane.
All right, you guys, you ready for the next iteration? It goes on. Nicki Minaj. Is I'm the Barney B in the flop? Is I'm lying about fertility when a queen has never once seen or spoken to a fertility doctor in her life? Is I'm the one sleeping with Trade while hubby fucking Sweetie and taking my big gooey hole for alimony? Is I'm the one going to be sued when a queen show her medical records to the courts? Oh, rock bottom nation, we win again. Desiree, I have your medical records too. The lawyer said we gonna have Barney be homeless within 36 months. Praise God. Lucky we eating cake right now. I'll just keep reading. Barney B, I know you don't know this, but some women plan their pregnancies, you dirty Heineken pussy twat. We don't let niggas fuck us while we pregnant for the next Trade who got 4 other people pregnant. You see, the devil has come to collect. You sold your soul. You made a pact, but you lost. Now here it is. You have been neutralized in the mighty name of Jesus. Every word you speak on me or mine will now curse your enablers more than your dizzy brain could ever fathom. I was pregnant from my first love, got married, and the next year got pregnant from my soulmate on purpose. You see, Barney, we planned it. Your medical records in the strip clubs to now look embarrassing. Your father, well, anyway, you about to shrivel up and die inside, Nicki says. You call black women monkeys and roaches. Now, one day people will call your daughters monkeys and roaches. Anyway, I used the double protection in every relationship until I was ready. See the difference between a hoe and the queen. She then posts a lot of chart corrections about Am I the Drama, and their pure sales not being as high as Cardi is reporting. She goes on to tweet. Also, I know y'all don't like taking my advice until it's too late, but don't listen to that music. It has been dipped in evil spirits, and your sole purpose is to unleash the spirit of drama in your lives. We rebuke it back to the pits of hell. It shall not stand. Delete it. She goes on to say, also, let me say this, though. I have never had fertility issues. It's not something to use to be dragged until you know the women who are actually living that pain, blaming themselves. We cannot only imagine and pray for them, love them, uplift them, and not use these women as a punchline. Barney B, tell them how you've been getting seizures from the knot. Oh, bitch, tomorrow. She shares another picture of Barney in a Cardi B wig. She says she starts reposting pictures of Cardi with the knot from that night from way back when. And then she goes in and says, Barney B and Culture Vulture. So this is where I'm going to pause because this is where I got I got confusion because I was like, I know Cardi's daughter name is Culture and that's how it's spelled. But as we just read, I know that Cardi's sister is arguing over there with JT. All this is happening at the same time. So I instinctively thought when she said Culture Vulture, she was taking a dig at Hennessy. I was incorrect. Okay. She is in fact talking about Cardi B's daughter. Look up how old Culture is while I continue reading this. She says, Cardi B responds, wait, bring that ass here. You talking about my father? My father never been to jail a day in his life. Go get a detective and tell them to run them records. Don't put them dirty ass allegations from your bloodline on mine. Your daddy was a crackhead and your brother was raping his stepchild. You got medical records on me. Post them, bitch. You gonna leave me the F alone today. And let me tell you something. Let this be the last time you mention my kids before I spill the tea on yours. While you talking about ABCs, you gonna leave me the F alone today, ho. I'm sick of you, bitch. Like, damn, how you pressed over an album you ain't got a hit in or mention in, bitch? Feelings hurt because I ain't pay her no attention. You haven't even cut your fucking kid cake. My God, it's 6 o'clock in LA. You must have took your first line of coke today. Actually, don't say that. It says, you must have took your first line of the day. When have I ever had a seizure? You the one that went on that award show saying you ain't want to call 911 after you was shaken from that drug overdose. Cardi B continues talking about it. Not, miss, I'm standing right here. Girl, it's your son's birthday. Why are you on Twitter dedicating essays to me? For the love of God, go to Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm tired.
Nicki goes on, leaked it once Barnaby started trending allegedly. Papa first party is over. He got 4 more to go. Let's go, ho. Drop the receipts. Rico Nation, Desiree, you sent Jigga Man broke. Huh? Get this bitch before I get in y'all families as well. Tonight happens to be the fucking night. Nicki goes on with a roach spray. I'ma spray it in that bitch disease riddled mouth. Bunch of different cum stains on a new roach for entertainment purposes only. She starts going off on Rock Nation. She goes back to Cardi. Barney Dangerous, Bodega Barney, what up? Your sister can get that chest caved in if you pregnant with another monkey or roach right now. I'm just saying for entertainment purposes. Culture, you a roach and a monkey. Like your sister. I do believe the sister that Nicki is referring to, the baby gotta be 9 months, 10 months, 11 months. I don't know. Cokie B, please don't sniff coke with baby number 4 or 5. Word to Carlos. Culture, a vulture, and her mama a crow. So stupid not to see once Wendy ate that crow what happened. They played you to do that hex to yourself, you flop ass, heavy tongue. She goes on. Now she's going everywhere. She starts telling Jay-Z to take off that fucking lace front. I know their fingers was hurting.
Girl, I'm over here losing brain cells.
Their fingers was hurting. Cardi responds, bitch, you've been having cum stains in your mouth since you was a minor because your daddy used to molest you, bitch. Tell the world why that's why you wake up so fucking miserable, because you hurt and full of trauma and trying to apply it to everybody else. And why the fuck you keep bringing up Rock Nation? I'm not even signed them. You delusional, paranoid, coke sniffing bitch. Drop the addy right now. Ain't gonna do no tagging the feds and the police like you did 3 months ago, you pussy ass bitch. Shut the fuck up. Papa Bear, I'm so sorry you can't speak and banging spoons because your mama couldn't put the drugs down. I'm sorry your mom not paying attention to you on your own birthday because she's such an obsessed and dark spirit hating hoe. I'm so sorry. Trying to call me out to fight because I'm pregnant as fuck. You never have that energy when I see you in person. I seen you at 2 Met Galas and you never have that energy. But where the fuck you at? My niggas is outside right now. Where the fuck y'all at? Bitch, you wish you could call my daughter ugly. Culture is beautiful and you know that. Your hate is so deep and dark and nasty because your son is nonverbal because you fucked him up with them drugs. So you jealous of everybody's kids and their happiness. Bitch, Where the fuck you at? Stop talking. I just love how Jay-Z getting all these strays. Like, Jay-Z getting a bunch of strays. Barney B had that whole label fly out to Cali to beg me to do a joint touring album with her. I don't want to have to drop that recorded call. Jay-Z in another pink Friday wig. Nicki says she's so stupid. Find me, bitch. Remember you called the cops on us last time. Make them tell us you had to leave New York because your man was afraid for y'all lives. Nah, ho, drop the receipts, Barney B. You'll be eating out of garbage cans of the Bronx in the name of Jesus. Then she says, fuck the vulture birthday. Cardi replies, you lying, funky feet, bitch. That combination is always funny to me. You lying, funky feet, bitch. Nobody called the cops on you, you dumbass bum. Your dumbass bum-ass man went online talking shit and doing threats while he was on probation, dummy. You was talking tough. Now you talking about find us, drop the addy, you fake tough pussy bitch. You said, mind you, Cardi is very pregnant. Cardi got to be 7+ months pregnant, right? The stress, the cortisol. You said, fuck vulture. What, bitch? Fuck that slow ass son that came out your pussy. You was wishing so much negativity on me when I was pregnant. And look at your karma. Look at what your rotten pussy produced. Now your whole 5-year-old tippy-toeing around the house and can't spell his name. I'm a break because I need a break. I need a break. Break.
I don't know, child.
This continued for hours. I can't believe, I cannot believe that they got them babies in this mess. I cannot believe it.
The whole thing was littered with misogyny, using the centering of men against each other. The whole thing, like it was, oh my gosh. I don't know. They're in the gutter because I can't. That's the gutter. I don't even know. I don't have any. That just made my head hurt.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for that. I seriously have lost brain cells. I'm looking for my brain cells to hold hands.
So much more of these I will add just for color. Continued on with Nicki telling her fans that she's a prophetess, that she is ordained, anointed, that she is cursing these people in the name of Jesus.
While cursing them, okay.
Same, in the same, all in the same.
I know you kept, my sensibilities kept being like, why you keep bringing Jesus into it after you done just used all them dang on F-bombs? That was a lot. And it's not.
Listen, eventually Nicki turned around a day or two later and gave a half-ass apology to, it kind of sounded like a Kendrick. You know how Kendrick did the whole Dear Adidon, what's Drake's son name?
Well, it was not an apology.
No, it was a half-ass apology.
Because Kendrick never did an apology.
Well, I'm just saying the way it was phrased, like he was like, Dear Adidon, or, you know, I'm sorry that your daddy is a this. I'm sorry that your daddy is a that. That's kind of was the tone. Actually,
well,
I'll just
apology. Yeah.
Well, exactly. So here I have it up. Nicki Minaj writes, I'm not sharing it, but I'll pull it up. Dear culture, truth is I did all of this for a bigger purpose, and one day you'll understand. You're a cute child, and lots of kids have cute little funny looking gums before they grown into all of their features. One day you'll see this, so I have to say I apologize as a child of God and queen of my community who looked to me for integrity. You're an innocent child and don't deserve any of this. One day your mother, aunt, and many more will be brought to their knees for what they've said and tried to do on my young prophet, beautiful boy. Take care, my darling. This isn't who I am. To which Cardi B responded, don't give my child no backhand apology and keep my child name out your mouth, because I'ma always take you where you don't want to go about mine. Honest truth is, going back and forth about kids is really draining my energy. I don't want to keep mentioning kids. It feels very nasty and dark, but the energy you keep giving my kids, I'm going to resend it back to the messenger. Dear Papa Perk, Cardi B continues, I'm sorry that your mommy haven't cut you a birthday cake for the past 3 days because she can't take my success or happiness. One day you're going to grow up, and I hope you understand when a girl says no, it means no, and you can overcome the pedophilia blood you inherited from your grandfather, father, and uncle. Please don't hate me when you grow up because your mommy rather give me more attention than she gives you. Hopefully when somebody that really cares about her puts her in rehab and gets her the help she needs to come out and read you a book. I feel like I need to read a book. I feel like I need to read literature. I need to read pretty words. This was stupid. And
this was more than stupid. This served to be, I'm gonna say this, it don't seem like Nicki Minaj beating them cocaine Barbie allegations. Because what is the profit in all, what's all of this? What did Jay-Z have to do with it? Why was he in there with a wig on? What is going on?
It all seems very manic. It's all very manic. It don't necessarily have to be drug-induced manic, but it's definitely manic.
We can only hope.
Nicki Minaj should be embarrassed and ashamed. And she is, hopefully, if she's not a complete sociopath, a narcissistic sociopath, she's going to wake up one day out of this and she's going to be like, I cannot believe I stooped so low to call toddlers and infants, literal toddlers and infants out of their name. It was such a disgusting display that went far beyond rap beef or regular beef. And I just take particular offense to doing that to someone who's pregnant. Because y'all know that stress can really kill you when you're carrying a baby. Like, it causes you to have eclampsia and all other types of things that can make you go into early pregnancy or cause issues with your unborn child. And I just think that was just very, very dangerous, very, very grimy. I think at this point, to be a Barb right now is to be in a cult. To be in a Barb and not hold Nicki Minaj accountable for what she did and think what she did was cute and funny and just for entertainment and just for, a lot, you know what I mean? Like, you're in a cult. You're in a cult. There's just no music good enough for you to be like, I'm going to stick beside someone that is displaying that level of human disregard. Just uncouth in every way. She's 42 years old. She's a woman. Like, there's just no... And you know what? At this point, go fight. At this point, set up the fight. Y'all gotta fight. Y'all have to fight. Y'all have to fight.
I just don't have anything for this. I don't have
no notes.
I have it's ever so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's ever so much. I just the mudslinging. Here it is. These are two wildly successful women. Okay, like I mean, beyond anything people could even possibly imagine of success, both monetarily and in popularity. And the slinging of insults based on men, when so much of the music that they do is based on decentering men and owning, having their own autonomy. And so that was just of a particular sort of nastiness that is just like, so everything leads back to your value being attached to some man, you know? So there was that. And then it was, who has that type of time? Who has that type of time? I don't understand that piece. Like, I don't even know. Like, I am just of the levels of confusion. What was it with the crow and the eagle? What is
It's mania?
on?
This is mania. We see the same things with Kanye, right?
Yes.
Because when you think about, just think of it from, by the way, as a disclaimer, I am not clinically clinician. I am not diagnosing anybody. I'm just letting y'all know what I know. With certain mental illnesses, bipolar, schizophrenia, schizoaffective, maybe even some level of narcissism. These are some of the symptoms. There is extreme paranoia that people around you are out to get you. Extreme paranoia. Desiree, Rock Nation, all of y'all have done this. You're all after the queen. You're all out to sabotage my career. A thread, right? There is this notion of grandioseness, right? I'm a queen. I'm a prophetess. I'm ordained.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's rapid thoughts. Like, I don't think people understand what mental illness, I don't think anybody has really even talked about it or really kind of framed it, right? What does a mental health crisis look like online? We know what it looks like in person. Rapid fire thoughts going in every direction, incoherentness, unable to connect what you're thinking to what you're saying out loud, being hypermanic, going on an attack, randomly connecting stuff, randomly being paranoid. What does that look like when you're doing it like this? You know what I mean? And rapid fire tweets in succession. That was 3 days. That was 72. Legend has it, they probably still somewhere arguing. That was 72 hours worth of attacks, sporadic attacks all over the place. So drug-induced mania or any other type of manic episode, it was not of a rational, reasonable, logical, healthy place. And if it was, just imagine that's how you're coming across. How dope would it have been? Because I'm over here delusional. I'm over here thinking, listen, these bitches is older now, okay? We getting the Brandy and Monica concert after 20 years. Like, how dope would it be for both of them to pop out like on a joint song or go on tour together? Well, let me be delusional. I thought maybe this is before this. Like, I didn't know this is where we were.
Before that,
this is where we were.
No.
Let me have been unrealistically. Well, I don't think it now. Now they gotta fight. Now they must throw hands. Now we must be in fisticuffs. Now we absolutely, and please don't nobody be looking at Cardi like she has lost her mind for throwing hands at the next Ann Wintour gathering. Hands must be thrown on site.
I also don't like the way that Nicki tries to weaponize Black women in her fight.
Yes.
Not the first time she's done that.
Yep.
And she does that quite often in her little tiffs, where she try to galvanize the emotions of Black. How we get in it. Last time I checked, Cardi B's mom is the same thing you and your mama is. Aren't they all from Trinidad? How we get in it?
Isn't Cardi Dominican or something?
On her father's side, but I think on her mom's side, I think her mom is from Trinidad.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I think so, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I read that a long time ago. Maybe it still holds true. But how we get in it? Like, how did this?
And you got JT in it, and that's why JT got told by Santana in that diss that she was a, what was it? A flip flop hoe, flipping in Chanel flip flops, funny and all that other stuff. JT actually dropped a diss record.
I guess if you gonna be a hot ass mess in the gutter, capitalize on it.
It was the worst. It was worse. It was, and that's another thing. This is not something we can get on wax, because when Nicki came out against Megan, backstory, friend, because I don't think you be in a gutter with this mess. You know how she don't like Megan Thee Stallion. Well, according to Nicki Minaj on one of her Cream radio episodes, the source of all their beef is because, you know, when Megan first came out, she used to do the drive the boat bid, which she would go to all the female rappers or the it girls, hold their chin up like this, get a bottle of whatever, pour it down their throat, tell you to drive the boat. So her and Nicki hooked up for like the first time. I think they actually did a song together. So they're doing some behind the scenes, whatever. And Megan asked her to drive the boat. And so Nicki kept saying no, like she kept playing it off like, no, I don't drive the boat. I get y'all to drive the boat or whatever. We saw this interaction if we were able to watch the live stream. So we kind of saw the hesitation of Nicki to do the drive the boat. Well, Nicki goes on a Queen Radio to describe that what we didn't see was that off camera, Nicki told Megan that she was pregnant. Megan said something about, okay, well, just abort the baby or something like that. She made some kind of off-color joke that young drunk girls would probably make that are not grown, that are not married, that are not trying to plan a family, that would not take that thing seriously, right? That's like rational, logical deduction. From there, Nicki was done with her. Told her she was demon, she was demonic, wouldn't accept Megan's flowers. How dare you try to tell me to get rid of my planned baby? So all this hatred that she has for Megan, she goes and makes a diss record to Megan, censoring her deceased mother. I thought that shit was disgusting. That was also very disgusting. But I couldn't take it seriously because the song was so damn whack. And Megan got her good with that whole rollout of her album with the Snake songs. And then I can't even think of the single that was like, Megan got her good. And then Megan has been on about her business since then. But I just think it's very like, so you're so upset about somebody saying something about your son, but you're going to talk about somebody's kids like this?
Nicki has always been like, this is not like, for me, I'll say it here. You heard it here. I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan. I never have been. I've seen her personality from jump. It's always been a little nasty. People were telling me like, oh, she's just playing into a persona for this, that, and the other. this has always kind of been her. It's always been her. She's always been a mean girl.
Her versus Mariah Carey.
Yeah, she's
on
always
American
been a mean
Idol.
girl.
Her versus Little Kim. What did she tell? What was? I wish I would have pulled it up. But her talking about some. Well, you could have went out like the queen, but now you're gonna go out looking bitter. Like, do none of that stuff hit you now? Like the way that you treat, like the reverence that you want that you're not getting from other rappers is the same thing that you did to Lil Kim?
She's always, I don't remember. I personally, me, she, her, I personally don't remember a time when Nicki wasn't a mean girl. But that's just me. Me personally, I don't remember a time when she wasn't. Don't remember a time.
All right, y'all. Let's move on because there's really nothing else for us to do with this. Legend has it, them girls are still somewhere. They probably still sweet and child. We don't know. But moving on. The government has shut down. Okay. That's right. That's what's happening. Like we've been through. Have we not suffered enough? Guess not. We've been shut down now. What is it? 6 days?
Roughly 5-6 days.
Okay, so let's just recap it. We're on CNN. CNN reports that on day 4 of the shutdown, lawmakers left Washington for the weekend, appearing no closer to a deal to fund the federal government. Democrats are also at an impasse with Republicans and President Donald Trump over enhanced Obamacare subsidies with no votes expected over the weekend. The shutdown will drag until next week. It goes on to report that agencies and activities deemed essential are still open, but many employees are working without a paycheck. And the Trump administration has signaled thousands of government layoffs could begin soon. Federal workers are spread across the United States, with many living far from Washington. Americans tell CNN that they're starting to feel the impacts on everyday life. 4 days, 21 hours, 46 minutes, 43 seconds since the shutdown first unfolded. Of course, what was very interesting about this is, first and foremost, we played the clip earlier, right? So we played the clip of President Trump, formally giving interviews and letting everyone know that the onus falls ultimately on the president if he cannot prevent a government shutdown. And yet here we are. Okay. Even more interestingly is who runs the Senate? Republicans. Runs the House. Like they have everything. So you're at fault as by your own words. But that doesn't seem to be the messaging that the GOP is leaving. You go on any US American, what would you kind of call those, ancillary government agency page, from all the way from HUD down, any of the basic ones, and they have a notice on there stating that the reason for the shutdown is due to the Democrats, and the messaging is about how Democrats are fighting to get health care for migrants. Is that correct?
That's what they're writing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that this is
what they're propagandizing. Yeah.
We know that this is untrue. In order to qualify for any type of Affordable Care Act coverage, Medicaid, Medicare, you have to have a social security number. As a migrant, you just simply would not be able to get past that wall. This is not about getting illegal immigrants and migrants healthcare. This is about them not making healthcare more expensive. The plan that they're proposing would not double, not triple, but quadruple the average family's household, what they pay for their health insurance on the market. Every day I wake up and I'm like, dang, we are still here, friend. We are still here. What notes do you have for the people about the government shutdown?
The Democrats cannot fold. They cannot. No. I understand that people are suffering, that you need your paycheck, that this is devastating. We've been through government shutdowns before. They usually end fairly quickly because people are usually beholden to their constituents, but this Republican Party is only beholden to their king. But I want to say this as clearly as possible. The big, beautiful bill you don't want this. Okay. Buckle up. This should be a longer shutdown, simply because there should be so much more conversation of things that have to come out of that bill that they're trying to pass. Mm-hmm. If they pass this bill, this would not only be devastating to individuals on Medicaid or Medicare, this would be devastating to the system as it currently functions, period. Yeah. That means clinics are going to, so like say there's a clinic or a hospital where most of their patients are on Medicaid or Medicare. Say those companies who only run on Medicare and Medicaid, where they are having like the home care aides come out, right? Most of those people have those people come out who are not necessarily like they're like maybe CNAs or something, to come out, help these people grocery shop that are disabled or elderly or just ailing. All of that would completely be like ravished. It would be like completely gone. You would see so many programs in our healthcare system just disappear. ACA, Affordable Care Act, some people call it Obamacare. It's a different name in every single state. All of that would be gone. Like, this would be absolutely devastating. And for those of us who have private insurance, our insurance too will go up, because Medicare and Medicaid is the foundation. It's like ripping a tablecloth from a table with a whole bunch of, stuff on it. Okay. I've only seen a few magicians be able to perform that trick. Okay. We are talking like total collapse of our healthcare system in this country. And no, they don't have like a replacement. Like, there's no replacement. When Kamala Harris said, he doesn't have a replacement. Like, he just is so vengeful and wanting to stick it to Obama. How many years removed is Obama from a presidency?
He's like Ray J.
He's so
on his mind,
his mind all the time, obsessed, that he just wants that to be gone. But there is no plan. There is no way forward. The people that would be most hurt by this first, not everyone would be hurt by it. The people hurt by it first are going to be those who voted for it, those in rural areas, those who have elderly parents that are, plugged into Medicaid or Medicare somehow, healthcare workers, so doctors, nurses, administrators, coders, all of those people would be like severely like hurt by this. Yeah, impacted by this for sure. No one gets out of it. No one gets around it. I say all of that to say, and I have went into such great detail, because do not get antsy with the Democrats. You cannot negotiate with terrorists.
I really worry about Hakeem Jeffries and who's the other one they're just like moles. You know what I mean? Chuck Schumer, yeah. They're gonna be the first ones to fold.
They are so annoying, and I hate to say this, At some point, they got to go. They are not meeting the moment, particularly Chuck Schumer. Hakeem Jeffrey seems to like not know if he really wants to meet the moment. He's like confused, like, yes, we're in the gutter. You're in the gutter. You're not up there on the shiny, heel in your nice new suit. We are in the gutter. We are crawling in the mud with the pigs. Okay. Stop trying to figure out which one we are doing. Okay. That's right. What we're doing. That's where we are. So he keeps like wavering back and forth, but there's a lot of people that's coming up on the ballots for 2026 in various states, running for Congress that are not beholden to lobbyist sort of money.
Yeah.
That's going to have to be the new wave of the Democratic Party. You cannot. New thing is your money. We're going to have to crowdfund our own politicians.
Yep.
At this point, there's no more lobbying.
We must take the lobbying. If any election has shown us what must be done, the path forward, so that this is not repeatable, the first step must be we've got to take the money out of our party. You cannot be beholden to lobbyists, and that's an excellent note. Another excellent note that you mentioned is that special elections are coming up. People, we know that there is a lot going on. It is chaos for a reason. Please vote in all of these special off elections. Please vote in the midterms. Please do not wait until 4 years to worry about the president, because as you can see, we went over Schoolhouse Rock last week. See how it all connects? Okay. Everybody at every level needs to be representative of your voice. It's more than just the president. The president is in fact too ineffective if he doesn't have everybody on his side. So if you want him to be effective, you have to have all those other people voted in. And if you do not agree with the president, you got to make sure that he does not have those people in. It's only been 250 something days of this, and you see how much chaos has been caused. On that same note, we told you guys that we're in Chicago, correct? Did we tell them that?
Yeah. We're Chicagoans.
Okay. So this week, ICE has invaded Chicago. All right. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to tell you guys, give you a little bit of the lowdown of what's going on. I'm going to read an article about that place from CNN. So this past week, 37 people were arrested and American kids were separated from their parents after an ICE raid at Chicago apartments. Adults and children alike were pulled from their Chicago apartments, crying and screaming during a large overnight raid that has left tenants and neighbors shaken. Someone said they've been on military bases for a good portion of their life. This is Daryl Ballard speaking. He says he's lived in the building next door, and the activity that he saw, it was like an invasion. He recalled seeing residents detained outside the building for hours. There was a Black Hawk helicopter flying over this 5-story building in the South Side. It's the South Shore neighborhood. There were military-sized vehicles and agents filling the parking lot early Tuesday morning. Okay, this scene. Look at this. This was madness. All were part of a multi-agency operation that led to the arrest of 37 undocumented immigrants, most of them from Venezuela, but also including people from Mexico, Nigeria, and Colombia. A Department of Homeland Security person told CNN. In the past weeks, federal agents have been deployed on the streets of Chicago. They've arrested more than 800 undocumented immigrants since September 8th during what the administration has titled Operation Midway Blitz. It's unclear if those arrested at the South Shore apartment building are included in that number. This was such chaos. It was so disheartening. Of course, the building was targeted because they're saying that there was this trend. What is the trend day? Aragua?
Agua.
Awagua. Okay. Members and their associates. 2 people were arrested, believed to be members of this Venezuelan criminal gang. A number of others arrested have criminal histories that included aggravated battery, possession of controlled substance. Governor J.B. Pritzker has condemned the federal operations in a statement, saying federal agents reporting to Secretary Noem have spent weeks snatching up families, scaring law-abiding residents, violating their due process rights, and even detaining U.S. citizens. They fail to focus on violent criminals and instead create panic in our communities. These people went through and they shattered the apartment building windows. They completely destroyed each unit. They threw items and clothes and belongings everywhere. I saw blood on the floor, kids' clothes. I saw toddlers in zip ties. Like it says here in this report on CNN, people were detained no matter their status. Think about this. Usually when there's an emergency or, when we're actually doing our due process and exercising people's rights, if you're after one person, you do not detain everybody in the vicinity. If there is a criminal next door, a suspected criminal at that, you do not get to come in my apartment unit next door and handcuff me while you go and get that person. I want people to understand how crazy this is. Why couldn't there be, let's say you're going to get the illegal immigrants, and we're going to get into that because that was all a scheme that Todd set up as well. But the organized way to do this, would it not be just evacuating the building, letting the regular residents sit on the side, providing them with maybe some water, telling them it's going to be okay, we're just doing like a search or whatever, letting them be back inside. People on the ground were saying they were being racist to them, calling them disparaging names, being vile, being disgusting, being aggressive. And I believe every single report. Okay. Tenant said it appears everyone in the building was detained by federal officers, including U.S. citizens. It was so scary because I never had a gun in my face. This was a quote from Patricia Fisher, who lives in the building. They asked me my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? And I told them, no, I didn't. She was then handcuffed anyway before being released around 3 o'clock in the morning. I got ish to do tomorrow. Do it look like I need to be handcuffed by you until the odd hours of the morning? They were then told anyone with an outstanding warrant, even if it was unrelated to immigration, would not be released. 4 children. I'm going to go into that in another article. This is from Block Club Chicago. The feds detained 4 children who were U.S. citizens during this controversial raid. The children were held until they could be placed in the care of guardians. Look at this room. Okay. No further details were immediately available. Imagine being a child awakened in the middle of the night by a Black Hawk helicopter, landing in your neighborhood. Imagine an armed stranger forcibly removing you from your bed, zip tying your hands, separating you from your family, and detaining you in a dark van for hours. You are a child. You are a toddler. This didn't happen in a third world country. This didn't happen in a country without an authoritarian regime. It happened in Chicago. Friend, I'll take a moment.
I think, or I know, I feel confident in saying that this is extremely orchestrated. Trump has had it. We kind of briefly talked about this. Trump has had a hard on for all things Obama. Since that man, appeared in our world. Okay. Ever since Obama appeared, that man has been coming for him non-stop. So Chicago is of a particular target, the same way when they propagandize Chicago as Chirac, sidebar. It's interesting because the statistics under the dailies, both dailies, by the way, because remember that whole Rahm Emanuel, Obama backed him, and they start calling Chicago Chirac, running with, what a few gang affiliated people was referring to Chirac, and they ran with it. There were more homicides in Chicago under the dailies than there were under any mayors that followed them. But so everything in Chicago has progressively gotten better, right?
Yeah.
And I need people to tap into critical thinking, right? Doesn't mean, no, we don't want to see any homicides. But everything was progressively getting better. We're down, the numbers are crazy staggering. It was something like on average, 900 something homicides a year. And we've dropped somewhere between 5 and 4. That's still a lot. No one's saying it's not. But what I'm saying is that
we're doing the work.
We're doing the work, but more than that, when the dailies were running the city as mayors, no one talked about it being this, it needs to be taken over, it's out of control. And it's like, it's not out of control a little bit more before. Why were we not? Okay, so that's number one. He's headed out for Obama, right? Obama is doing things here in Chicago where his legacy will live on for forever. For those of you that are not from Chicago, and may not be familiar, Obama is building the Obama Foundation here. It has already not even being open yet because it doesn't open until next year. It has already employed so many people already just from the build. And they've been very thoughtful in the process of who gets the contracts. So he wants for the spotlight to move away from that type of news. The other thing is that we have 2.1 billion federal dollars that was promised to us for a project that is going to be invested in the South Side and the West Side that Trump is holding hostage.
Yeah. Even the red line, right? Like they're not going to.
That's what that was for. That's for the red line to extend it all the way out.
Yeah.
That's being held hostage. Okay. So I'm giving you all this background so you all know that this is a vendetta. This is not, this is personal for that man. So let's go back to Biden's presidency, the last year of Biden's presidency, when Governor Abbott from Texas decided that he was going to send these newly immigrated folks who was here maybe on TPS status, coming in as refugees or other statuses that they had been approved for, that he decided to send them on buses. You all may remember they sent all of these people on buses to to liberal cities. That's the other point. And
This
I'll
is
get to that in a
actually,
minute.
I actually have that pulled up because remember when I was like, this is all also a scheme that got Todd set up. So let me actually share that with you guys because this is actually very critical. So this was actually back in 2023. Is that correct? Yes, May of 2023. This is from Block Club Chicago. A migrant shelter at Old South Shore School could open next week as neighbors shout down the city's meeting on plans. As migrants sleep on police station floors and eat expired meals, city officials unveiled plans for temporary migrant housing at a chaotic meeting, outraging hundreds of South Shore residents and Alderman Michelle Harris. Frustrations over plans to use the old South Shore High School as a temporary shelter for migrants boiled over during a chaotic meeting that was much a referendum on the city's responsiveness to neighbors' needs as it was a loud rejection of plans. Several hundred people attended. So I want you guys to pay attention because they always try to paint it out as Black people, especially in Black people in urban neighborhoods. So like Black neighborhood. So like the ghetto, whatever, disparaging remarks they want to say. They want to say that we're not active in the process, but we are active in the process and nobody listens to us, right? So at this time, several hundred people attended a public meeting Thursday on plans to use the former high school on 7627 South Constance Avenue. This is not that far from where that rage has happened, as a respite center for migrants before they can be placed in a shelter. At least 200 and up to 500 migrants at a time will receive short-term basic amenities at the old high school amid a humanitarian crisis that pushed Chicago's shelter sister to its limits, according to Mayor Lightfoot at the Times administration. The temporary shelter could open by the middle of next week. That's despite a commitment from Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson, who takes office in less than 2 weeks, to hear from South Shore residents before making a decision on the center. Most migrants come to the United States from Venezuela, which has struggled with political and economic upheaval. Others are from Middle Eastern, African, and European countries. Some migrants have sheltered at the Chicago police station in recent weeks, where they slept on floors and ate expired meals. Others slept last week at the O'Hare Airport after a San Antonio, Texas shelter gave them one-way plane tickets. This was the backstory of how they bust them over here, how it was not well received, and how there was pushback and no one did anything about it. And it's, to your point, very coincidental that these people came from Texas and now Chicago, a place where this administration has a revenge, the retaliation out for. Now we're like their first target, and they're coming right dead center to this exact spot to harass these people. Just wanted to give a little bit more on that story because this was all see there. We got to start playing chess. Our people, the Democrats and whatever, we got to start playing chess. They are so far and so nefarious in thinking down the road when they set this stuff up and making people targets. Like they knew that they were going to be doing this. But go ahead.
So it's all orchestrated. And what I was saying was they knew that this would cause infighting amongst Chicago city officials, because nothing like that would happen without a 2-3 year plan. That would be a 2-3 year plan to relocate people from one location to another. There would be funding involved, infrastructure being built, all sorts of things. So this was very much so purposefully done.
Yep.
But what I want people to grab is So you go back to that time. The Republicans were already upset that Trump had lost the 2020 election. So they were going to make immigration seem like a Democratic problem.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't have written it better for themselves that Trump would be reelected in 2024. And so now it's perfect because people's memories spans are so short that now people are not remembering that it was the Republicans that sent
these people here
to Portland, to Chicago, to New York, to LA. And so now they're sending in the Gestapo. So they created the problem.
Create the problem.
Now they're going to, now they have a reason to invade the cities as to where they created the problem and say they must come in. So all of that is orchestrated.
Absolutely.
And then there's layers to it. You got to look at this. This is 3D. There's layers to this. And then you have, with them being put into Black areas, right now what we have, no other immigration raid happened the way it happened in Chicago. That hard on for Chicago hits so very hard. And that makes all of the sense with everything with his vendetta against Obama. And he also has a vendetta against Chicago. That Trump hotel that went up, there is so much political fallout. No one wanted it there. People fought against it. They protested against it. It's in our skyline now. People are very passionate about the Chicago skyline here. People don't know that. And so at every turn, you cannot turn Chicago. Chicago is a stronghold of being blue. I can't speak for Illinois, but Chicago is unwavering in their contempt against this man. Like, it's never going to happen. That upsets him. So I'm going to send 300 agents to go and collect these people from this building where Black people are, because I'm sending a message. This is dog whistling. This is what this is. They want Black bodies in the street as we were in 2020 because they want to serve us up. Just like we saw after the whole Charlie Kirk situation, and you got them going to HBCUs and threatening HBCUs, and we have absolutely positively nothing to do with it. What wasn't a part of their playbook, and this is in Project 2025, what they did not anticipate was Black people not reacting, not taking to the streets. They didn't anticipate that part. They wanted to use us as rioters, and they wanted to use that, just like they're using the immigration against Hispanic folks. They wanted to use the Black people are violent in the streets. See, we've got to stop them. And they've not been able to use that part of their playbook because Black people have said, I'm over here enjoying my life and minding my business. We've been here before.
And to that end, we've endeared this. Listen, they are Trey Reed, as a follow-up note, the autopsy revealed that he did have blunt force trauma prior to being hung up and lynched. They are playing a dangerous game that we don't care nothing about, because we done been through it all. We have survived it all. And they are just trying to get a reaction out of us.
They want a big reaction.
We will go to the Black campuses, and then we'll get all the students and show how the Black students on the Black colleges are rah, 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 so we can cut their funding and we can dismantle the legacy of, historically Black universities. They got nothing. They're lynching people. They have never stopped lynching people. They have never stopped lynching people from trees, and they've never stopped modern day lynching by police force. This is not anything new to us. I don't think that people that are not Black don't understand this, and people outside of the US don't understand that we're not giving them what they want. Go ahead, friend. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You're in your
very actually telling, because there was like a conference for, I guess I would say, Israel. There was a conference, and they were just having this conference and talking about, I guess they were strategy planning, saying what is their biggest barrier. Young Black Americans was the comment that someone that was pretty high up in the ranks, and I'm sorry I don't have like the official information because this happened like almost 2 weeks ago now, said it was a young Black Americans were their biggest barrier to sort of like keeping everyone on one side, like making sure that they were not informed, basically, about what's happening over there. How we get in it? How do we get in everything? How is it that Black Americans is Israel's biggest problem? How does that even make good, rational sense?
It tracks though, because it was so many Black people that were influential and telling people and showing the parallels of how their racist playbook against the Palestinians was also being used on us. And so we weren't falling for it.
But to say we're the biggest threat is insane. And that just goes to show you that Black people, Black American people, are seen as the face of resilience across the world. Because how we get in it? It's like it's constant. That's my question.
I was going to say we're never not in it. We're never not in it.
We're never not in it. Even when you just wake up, you like, I just woke up from a 12-hour nap. How I get in something? This is literally like getting fired on your day off. How I get it? It's crazy. So I just want you all to understand that there's layers to this whole ICE rate thing. It is like 1, 2, 3.
Calculate it.
Create the problem, and they're going to do this over and over again. They're going to do this over and over again. They're going to create a problem, solve the problem, okay? Propagandize the information, right? And then blame the left for everything. Y'all just saw that
over and over.
And over again. So there's that.
Also pay attention to T's point, the neighborhoods, the cities that he's targeting. A lot of these people have Black mayors and Black people and that are just pushing back. And they're like the woman in Portland, the mayor in Portland, they gave the sturdiest no to have ever been no. Before we even started the press recording, I just saw that Trump is unlawfully sending 300 Californian military troops to Portland since he was denied access to allow to be activating the Portland military troops. So the sturdy blue cities that they cannot swing, the people, the voices that are influential, the Black communities, the Black leaders, this again, taking out our Black leaders, taking all of our great Black speakers and orators and all of our charismatic preachers and all the people that can influence everybody and show you and tell you in a way that makes you compassionate for the movement. Those are the people they're going to target first all of the time, each and every time. We know the playbook now. That's the problem. We know the playbook. You're not even original with this. Just watch, rinse, repeat. And in the end, the story will be, we will be resilient every time. that is that. Let's do a few quick notes, friend. Quick notes. Quick notes. I don't know why I go into Boondocks. Whatever. Blue shoes. All right, just a few quick notes for you guys. Let's see. So Taylor Swift dropped a new album. Life of a Showgirl dropped on October 3rd. We talked about it being, on the horizon a few episodes ago, but it is here. And guess what? The Swifties are in a tizzy. The Swifties are mad, y'all. The Swifties are saying it's giving mad at best. A lot of them have turned on your girl. They don't like the lyrics. They don't like the music. It's not brassy enough. It doesn't follow the theme, according to them, of being anything to do with a showgirl. There's no show tunes. This is not giving nothing. They ain't giving them nothing. What are your notes and your thoughts on the poor response of Taylor Swift's new album?
I've always had that thought process of just always checking back to Taylor's age and her not. I've always said that. How does because I would hear friends saying, "Oh, my daughter is going to Taylor Swift concert." I'm like, isn't Taylor Swift just a few years younger than us?
Yeah.
Like, where is that? You know what I mean? I'm like, isn't that a little bit strange? So I just find that interesting that she's not really grown, into womanly sort of music, and she's not meeting the people where they are, because the stuff she's singing about, child, that is not where the people are. So she's like Miley, Ariana, who I think is a little bit even younger than her.
Now, why would you be on the light? Now you acting up. Y'all, my cat is showing out. Milo, don't knock over mama's light. Off, please. Let me get your daddy, but continue.
They are usually able to they were able to break out of this sort of younger image, cookie cutter imagery, and she's just kind of stayed in that. And I'm like, you can't be that for forever. And I don't know what they were trying to do with this album. I don't know who they're talking to. I don't know who the audience is supposed to be.
I haven't listened to it yet, but to be honest, I don't listen to none of her albums, so I'm not gonna listen to it. I'll stick by some singles and see if a single catch me. But I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, Taylor. I'm sorry, Tay. She'll probably still sweep every award. You know how they got it. She got the awards locked down. So, all right. Next quick note. The beautiful, talented, multi-talented singer, actor, dancer, Ryan Destiny is now engaged to her longtime boyfriend, Keith Powers. They announced their engagement today. Yay. Any notes for Ryan Destiny on her new engagement?
No, enjoy it. Have fun. Congratulations. I am noticing this trend of, like, we have Ryan Destiny engaged, Coco Jones engaged, Normani engaged. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all of the wedding pics from the Chocolate Girlies.
Yeah, a lot of the wedding planners are going to be busy. Milo, now I got to go get you. Get down. You're doing too much. You know better.
She said, get off the line.
All right. What else? Last quick note. Say hi, Milo. Isn't she beautiful? This is my Milo. Okay. Last quick note. Shelly and Ace, this past season's Love Island contestants Shelly and Ace have officially made it official weeks, months, even after being on the show. They just announced that they are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. Any notes on Shelly and Ace just now making it official?
I hope that they can grow, particularly one of them. I hope they can grow in togetherness. And I'm being legit serious. I'm not even being shady, because he is very, 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 very young.
Very young.
And so I'm just hoping that they can continue to grow towards one another in towards shifting mindsets. I'll say that. And
I guess a positive thing to glimmer from this is that I think in this day and age, it is kind of cool that they took their time. You know what I mean?
I think the time
about it, I was like, why is it taking so long? Like, why? What do you mean? Y'all are always together in each other's faces. But I think that
give me a courtship every time.
Yeah, I think that's sweet. How are things with Nick and Alandria?
They are going very well. They are everywhere all the time. They are all over the For You pages. Recently, Alandria visited Nick down in Florida, his family home. We got to see the dad finally. So we saw
Who's dad? Nick's dad?
Nick's dad.
Okay.
So we saw Nick had a gig at Greek Fest at FSU. And so they actually kind of like renamed it Ola Fest. Oh my
God.
The fans were going up for her so crazy. Someone made a book with magazine covers, her face on every magazine cover, and they matched the style in the moment of it was so. I was like, you got some thick stand fans. Her fans go up for her the way people go up for Beyonce. It's crazy.
I don't know who needs to take this note. If you aren't even, you're probably already aware of this, but like, y'all need to be branding it. Alandria, brand your likeness, trademark your likeness, trademark your name, your likeness, copyright, like Doobie told earlier, because at this point, you need to be registering your likeness with Barbie or the Bratz or some other doll maker, maybe on your own doll maker, come out like your own doll, your own merch, because you are the moment. You are that girl.
Yeah, so it went really well, and we got to see a picture of them from the reunion on the family mantle, sandwiched between Nick's graduation picture and Nick's grandma.
That is adorable. That is adorable. All right, you guys. Well, those were our quick notes. Thank y'all so much for rocking out with us. We're going to go into our closing notes. This was a very long, but very important, mostly.
It's been a week.
Situation to, oh my goodness, go over. Do you have any closing notes for the people, friend?
I want people to know that these ICE raids are absolutely positively the Gestapo. So if you ever learned anything about what actually went down in Germany, this is exactly how this all came to be, and how, that man with that weird mustache rose to power. So don't be disillusioned by what is actually happening. The work has to be done strategically and quietly. Get with community nonprofits, community organizations in your area, and figure out in which ways you can help, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether it is, if you got it, to donate to those that are in the fight, that's running in these special elections. Also, like every little bit counts. Don't think like, oh, I'm not outside marching. There are other ways to protest. So I just want to give that little bit of hope. So even though if you just looked at all the bad, everything just looks bad all the time. It looks like we're in total despair all the time. With this, but good things are happening. They're just happening a little bit quieter, because we don't need for those movements to be corrupted and propagandized as something else. So those are my notes.
Great closing notes, friend. Good things are happening. Good things are happening. My closing notes today for the people. Seen a lot of my international friends that are watching the 2025 season of the United States, the reality show that we call the United States. And some people are wondering, hey, how did we get here? Like, how did we let this happen? I even saw one girl recently make a video, and she was questioning if this stuff was serious or if it was her country's propaganda against the United States. Well, unfortunately, it's real. And the answer that I have is racism. Racism. Racism is why we are here. Okay. It's been said before, no one ever listens to Black women, so we'll probably have to say this a million times over, but this country is racist over everything else. We have different varieties of races. We have your garden variety, person that still is part of the Klan and, you know, burns crosses, calls people N-words, you know, they're proud of it. But we also have very discreet races, people that want to be racist on a DL. We have your cognitive dissonant races. They don't know that they're racist, don't want to be associated with races, but they're racist. And then we have your standby races that, you know, they benefit from white supremacy. They uphold white supremacy. They won't say anything against white supremacy, but they are part of the system. Everything in the United States is the way it is now because racist white folks be racist. We do not have universal health care because racist white folks decided they did not want Black people to have equal access to health care. We do not have common sense gun laws because racist white folks are afraid that Black people that they kept enslaved and did not give reparations or restoration to will still revolt against them. So they are willing to let their little white kids die in kindergartens, pre-K, daycare, and on up. Okay. The reason why they're able to now activate all these ICE raids and all of this other stuff is, again, you got it, racism. All right. These are other people. They're not human. They're less than us. They don't belong here. They didn't get over here the right way. Right. This is all racism. What's getting on my nerves is people that think that this is still the time to be silent and be quiet and use their inside voice when they see the racism. This is why we're here. If you want to make this place better, if you don't want what's happening to repeat itself over again, y'all are going to have to learn to check y'all granddaddies at the lunch table, to check your mamas, to check your aunties. This can't be we know that our family is racist, but we're not like them. No, start checking people, okay? With the same type of energy you have when they don't have fresh food out at Whole Foods. You know what I mean? Use your outside voice when you see people being racist. And that way, maybe we can actually, I don't know, be a pretty happy, adaptive, progressive society. That's it. That's all. It's not hard. Don't be racist. It's probably really hard though, because y'all ain't never not been racist before. They ain't never not been racist before. You could have voted for the Black lady. We wouldn't be here, but you didn't. You know why? Because you're racist.
Well said.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our show. Tee, where can they find you?
T_Shante. That is TEE_SHANTE. And that's pretty much everywhere. Where can they find you, Tel?
They can find me at Chantel Chavon across the board. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with us. Thank you for listening to us. We are playing wherever podcasts are played. Tee, are you taking a break next week?
Yeah, I'm out of here, girl. I'm out of here. We're going to see how this goes.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to do an episode and like put your picture.
We're going to see how this goes at the airport though, because
oh my God.
Shut down. So we'll see. We'll see. Get there early.
Thank you guys so much. We'll figure out what I'll do for you guys next week. We'll do something fun while Tee is on vacation, but she needs her vacation. Deserves that. So, bye y'all.
Bye. Next time. See you next time.